you got to realize that whatever you're doing, you're competing with somebody. What is it that gives you an advantage over your competition? Whatever you're good at, try to be great at it. And if you're great at it, good things will happen.
Maverick Podcast.
I'm far from average. That's why I had to come sit down and chop it up with DJ Maverick. They know my name from coast to coast and even in Dallas. I use my talent when I'm faced with a challenge. Gratitude strength is my magnet. Close your eyes and imagine. If you can see it in your mind, then you can have it.
Maverick Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. This is the Maverick Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Maverick. Today we have another rock star in the building. We have content creator, singer, and also pursuing a master's degree in counseling, the one and only Rouve. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Luis. I'm happy to be here, and I just want to say thank you for having me.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. For the 1% of the people out there that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Haiti, and I love music, and I'm also passionate about languages. And I like clothes, so I like some fashion here and there.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. Your Instagram looks super legit, curated. I saw some get ready with me.
Yeah, I love photography as well. I feel like with art in general, I just love different forms of art, and I tried, to do as much of this as possible. And I think photography is one of the way that I express myself, like either pictures of people or things or buildings, like architecture. So yeah,
I was impressed because even like your shoes, sometimes it would just be your shoes and the image, and I was impressed. Like, how did she make like that look cool? Like, it's just some like shoes and nothing else in the frame. It was really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. Usually I try to catch things that catch my attention. I'm like, oh, this would look nice on my Instagram feed. Or I like this color. I think it would fit right there in that week's theme for my Instagram. So
that's awesome. Do you carry like a camera with you, or is it all like your iPhone, or what do you prefer?
Both. Sometimes I carry like a digital camera, and then sometimes I have my phone, and sometimes I have a camcorder with me.
Okay.
So
like an old school camcorder?
Not really old school, but it's inspired by old school one.
Got it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you were raised in a large family, speaking multiple languages, right? Like that probably gives you like another layer to be able to connect with people, right?
Absolutely. So I grew up in Haiti, and where I grew up, I had the privilege to have neighbors from different countries. Like I had some Latinos, and then I had Europeans, and I had Americans.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a melting pot. And I feel like I've always been interested to learn more about those people in their country and even their languages. And I've always been inspired. It's like I'm, picking from each of them and creating myself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would say my background definitely played a role in that.
Very cool. So what languages are we talking about? Which ones did you grow up with?
So Haiti has two official languages. We have Haitian Creole and we have French. So obviously, like at home and going to school, it's guaranteed you're going to speak those two. But my dad also taught me and my siblings English and Spanish growing up. So that was a plus. I mean, I didn't really know that I knew other languages. I just thought like, you should know.
You just thought it was normal, like everybody does this type of thing?
Exactly. And then later on, when I was a teenager, I decided, I need to pick up Portuguese because for whatever reason, I love Brazil and I love soccer. And I love the language. I think it's so beautiful. And I was like, I feel like I could pick that one up. So I did.
Wow. So for you, is it just natural to pick up multiple languages that way? Like, what's your approach to picking up different languages?
I feel like it's natural for me because I started at a young age. But like it gets hard. For example, with the verb tenses in Spanish, I'm still struggling with those.
Yeah.
But I still understand and everything. And also having French as one of my primary languages, which is super close to the other Romance languages, it made it easier for me to just, learn the other ones or at least understand those that I don't speak.
Yeah. So. What would be a tip for someone that's wanting to learn a language? I always hear maybe watch TV in a different language or listen to the music. Like, what's your approach to learning a language?
I would say all the things you just said right now. In addition to that, like, don't be scared to make mistakes. Like, even if you have to talk to yourself and you don't have anyone, just go ahead and do it. And it's okay if you have an accent. Like, I still have an accent in English, even if I learned English when I was younger. Don't be scared to make mistakes and, find the things that you like and then find like a version of those things in that language that you're learning, and it will help.
That's great advice.
And also make friends who speak that language fluently and who are willing, to have a conversation with you. Like, it could be a way to definitely network as well and just reach out and say like, hey, like, would you help me with this? Like, most people will be like, of course, like, you're learning their language. That's something beautiful. And they'll be very happy to help you with that as well.
Yeah, what I always tell people is don't be embarrassed. Like if you're gonna mess up a word or whatever, like don't even sweat it. Like that's perfectly fine. As soon as you get over that little embarrassment hill and you're just comfortable with speaking whatever language you're trying to learn, the better,
For
right?
sure. I totally agree.
Yeah. So I see content creator, singer, and also you're studying counseling. So if I were to met you as a kid and asked you, what do you want to do when you grow up? What would have been the answer to that?
Well, I've wanted to be a psychologist since I was little. Like,
Mm,
I was around 8 years old when I said that's what I want to do growing up. But then as I got closer to, high school, and I'm like, maybe I want something else. But I always wanted like a minor. But I still wanted, psychology to be the major. But I'm like, maybe I'll get a minor in music. Maybe I'll get a minor in theology. I just kept like having those little side parts I wanted to get there. But the main goal was always psychology. So
What drew you to that? Why'd you gravitate towards that?
I think I think it has to do with growing up with a brother that had severe mental illnesses as a kid, and I just thought like I want to be one of those people that help. And Haiti is not super advanced with mental health. Like it's only within the last decade that there's more awareness about mental health there, and it's definitely needed. I mean, worldwide, but I feel like Haiti, like when it comes to mental health, we're a little behind more than some parts of the world. And I think I want to be one of those people who help, bring more awareness to the need of that in the country.
Yeah, I would say even here in the US, it's not until recently that we even have those conversations about mental health. Oftentimes it was like kind of taboo or people were like, hey, don't talk about it type of thing. They were embarrassed to talk about it. What do you think is like the thing that we can do to be better as a society, to be able to have those conversations openly?
I think to not be afraid to ask for help is one of the biggest part of that. Like reaching out for help really makes a difference. You also inspire other people like to reach out for help. And I feel like, especially at the counseling center that I work, there's a lot like more like younger people coming into counseling. And it was because they were inspired by either, a celebrity who opened up about their mental health struggles and going to counseling. And you'll see TikToks about people saying, oh yeah, so me and my therapist, like, and their influence, and they realize like it's okay to reach out for help when you need it. And I think that would be one of the biggest parts. Just like admit to yourself like, hey, like this is rough, like I need help. And it'll open doors and to healing for sure.
1000%. I'm glad that it's shifting in that direction because when I grew up as a kid, it was always boys don't cry, you got to be strong. So I never grew up with like being able to like openly speak about like, hey, I'm struggling or I'm having a bad day or whatever. It was just like, hey, suck it up and like, like just go on. So I'm glad that we're trending in that different direction.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So tell me, how'd you end up in Oklahoma? Did you like just come here for college or you've been here for quite some time here or what?
I came here for college and Oklahoma was not even like my first choice, but
No.
somehow like, I don't know what it was. Like I just felt like I needed to be there. And it was like a very last minute thing because I was looking at a couple of other colleges and one of them was in California. But then I'm like, I want to do something different, like go somewhere I've never been, meet people, like meet new people. Because the other places I had people there and I had friends there and I had like a support group already waiting for me. But then I'm like, what if I, do something that's completely out of the blue, just go somewhere, different. And it was Oklahoma. It's a long story, but yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Yeah, we have time. I'm definitely curious about that because you didn't know anybody here. I mean, that's brave to just come to a brand new place, not know anyone. That's pretty brave of you.
I did not know anyone here. I knew a little bit about the community church-wise because the college I went to is connected to a church, which is connected to my church back home.
Okay.
So, a small bubble, and that's how I ended up here.
Got it. What was your first thought when you first arrived to Oklahoma? What was like the biggest shock, do you think, to you?
It's flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm from Haiti. I don't know how much you know about Haiti, but we have mountains everywhere. Actually, the name Haiti means land of mountains or land of high mountains in the
Okay.
Taino language. And so pretty much everywhere you in Haiti, you can look somewhere, you'll find a mountain chain or some kind of hill. But here it's like so flat. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it's landlocked. Like, I mean, I could drive a little bit in Haiti and see open waters that's not man-made, and it's like the ocean because it's a half island. So I'm like, here we have lakes and they're cool, but then I'm like, but they're lakes.
Yeah,
They're
it
not
doesn't
the
compare.
ocean. So
Yeah.
I would say that was the culture shock.
What about as far as food and stuff like that? Do you miss that often or what?
I do miss Haitian food, but I love to cook, so I
Oh, you
cook
do?
at home like every day. So I mean, even though I miss it, I have it. It's just I'm the one doing it now. But in general, I don't think I had too much of a culture shock when it comes to the food because I used to come to the US back and forth when I was little, and I've always had like some American friends. So
Okay.
I was aware of the food, but there were definitely some things that threw me off
Yeah.
a little more
Like what?
like fair foods. Like one time in the calf, like we had like a fair food inspired lunch, and we had like donut burgers, and I'm like, what is this? I mean, I had one, but then I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The fair is always interesting. They always have like a deep fried something that shouldn't be deep fried thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So every now and then I'll find something, and I'm like, okay, and we're eating that. But I'm sure like people would feel the same way if they saw like some Haitian food
Yeah.
and they're like, why are you eating that? So yeah, it's neutral.
Yeah. So growing up, was music also a part of your life as well, or?
Definitely. Yeah, my parents were very musical. My dad was in band and he played the trombone, and my mom, she was in choir like since she was a little girl. So
Okay.
they raised us, like me and my siblings, like singing at church, and my brothers, they play like different instruments and also sing. So my whole family has some musical talent.
What would you say are your musical influences? Like what type of music did they expose you to?
Most of the music I was exposed to growing up was hymns. We sing a lot of hymns because I grew up in the church. And then I think around when I was maybe 10 or up, we had a lot of streaming services coming from the US. So I definitely watched BET and all those other, pop stars like Lady Gaga, Shakira. Like I was aware of those music as well, and I listened to them growing up. So I always had like a big influence. And then, of course, like Haitian music, like traditional music. And then we do have like some Latin music that is played in Haiti a lot because we are border with Dominican Republic. So we do get some more Hispanic influences. So
What was your first performance? Was it through the church, or did you like participate in a talent show or something? Do you remember that first performance?
it was through the church.
Through the church?
I was very young. Oh my gosh. It was before I was 5.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was. So I've been singing my whole life, really.
What would you say is your favorite style to sing? What genre is your favorite thing to sing?
I have 2.
Mm.
It's either classical or pop or contemporary, and
Okay.
of course, church music.
Okay.
So,
And it sounds like you've been able to grow that even here present time. You're still singing presently, right?
I try to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a music scholarship, even if I wasn't a music major from my undergrad. So I had to take voice lessons as well.
Okay.
And I was in choir, and it was one of the best experiences that I had. Like a part of me wished that I would still have like a minor in music just because of how connected I felt with all the music kids. And
Yeah.
some of my friends, like post-college, are the music people. I just felt like so welcome, and I felt like I could relate to them in so many ways.
Mhm.
And they just had like this care for me that I felt like my department, like the psych department, didn't really have.
Yeah.
So yeah, like in college, it got better.
Someone that wants to be a singer or is interested into music, do you think that they should pursue that into college?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it does make a difference if you have like, professional voice lessons, or if you take music theory or anything like that. You can hear the difference for
tell.
sure. Yeah. That shows like you should do it. Maybe not long term if you don't want to do anything with it, but even, 1 year of lesson will make a difference.
Yeah.
So
And then also it probably opens up doors because you necessarily don't have to be a singer. You can become a professor. You can explore other careers with that same degree, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So when does content creation come into play? Like that's interesting that it sounds like you're trying to build up your social media presence. You also have a YouTube channel, right? Tell me about that.
I've always liked to create, and I take a lot of pictures, obviously. Like my phone has probably like 32,000
Yeah.
right now, like of pictures and videos. Like I will see something and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like I don't post everything that I take a
Yeah.
picture of. And so when I started posting things and then people like them, and then sometimes people would start following me and I don't even know, because, like when I first had Instagram, it's just like my family, my friends, and that's all it was. But then when I unprivate, is that even a word? Well, when I
When you made it public. Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
people, would start, even reaching out to me and ask me, hey, what camera are you using to take this? Like, how did you take this picture? Like, where is that? Like, where did you get your shoes? And I was like, hold on, maybe I could make something out of it. So I would try, to post more. And I feel like it's a way that I express myself and the thing that I like. And I'm glad that people are enjoying it too. So, yeah.
Yeah. How did you get over being able to vlog or take pictures in public? Because I always see people struggle with that. They don't feel comfortable with bringing out the camera in public, talking to the camera. It can get kind of awkward because you're just really talking to yourself, right?
Yeah. I like to tell myself that 10 years from now, I won't care about it. And then I'm like, why should I care if people are watching? I'm like, this is for me. Like everyone who's ever become like a big content creator, they just always had that confidence, trying to not care about like what everyone around them is going to say. Like they just do their thing and just go with it. I feel like that's where I stand as well. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I get it. So as a content creator, what do you enjoy creating? What type of content? Because you've got fashion, you've got music, you've got, all these genres that you could do. Like what is the type of content that you like creating?
That's a great question. I don't have a preference, and I want people to follow me for me, not just of what like I post.
Okay.
I just try to post what will make me happy and what I want to post. I don't really have a niche or anything. Like my Instagram or YouTube is all over the place. Like you'll see "Get Ready with Me," and then on my highlights you'll find me singing.
Oh, okay.
It's everything really that I am, not just like one or the other. So
yeah. So is that kind of like your approach? Like get to know me and everything that I'm interested in.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm okay if it doesn't work, but I know like there are people, who have different interests and they're like, okay, I just have to focus on this. And I'm like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more to you than just one thing, like just one passion, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Are you able also to sprinkle in like your interests around counseling and mental health and all that as well into your social media?
I try to do that as much as I can, but then also I don't want to put anything out there since I don't have my license yet. Like I'm still a student and I'm like, I don't think I'm the best to just, give people information. I usually try to share what I find meaningful from actual counselors and psychologists and, repost them on my stories or, even sometimes making comments like, hey, this is actually wrong. Like you're hurting yourself doing this or things like that.
What about the fashion, right? Because to me, that's another skill that is difficult to develop, right? Like I always see people that can go through a thrift shop or something like that and pick out things and make it look way cooler than if I would go buy stuff. Like I definitely don't have that skill. So how did you develop that fashion skill?
I think this goes back to self-expression. And I am inspired a lot by timeless fashion, like from, different eras. And, if it looks good, I'll wear it. I don't care if it's not trendy.
Okay.
I like timeless things. And I think that's what I always try to aim when I go shopping. I'm like, will I wear this in 5 years? Like, will I wear this in 10 years?
Yeah.
Will I stop wearing this next month when it goes out of style? Or sometimes like something will be in style. And I'm like, this is something I see myself wearing, 15 years down the road. So I'm like, I'll buy it just because I know like I'll still wear it. Like I try to stay as far away possible from micro trends because I'm like, I won't want to wear that.
Yeah. And it changes so often, right? Like one year it's skinny jeans, next year it's like super baggy jeans, right? Like it's all over the place, right?
And now we have the flare ones.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like all the 90s fashion is coming back, like the big baggy jeans, big baggy shirts, all that bright colors. It seems like that's like, so what would you say, what's your fashion inspiration? Do you follow content creators, fashion brands?
Some of the creators that I follow are like from Sweden and from the US, of course, but from New York, obviously. And a lot of other Europeans, like from France. So, and I would say a brand that I follow and really like their aesthetic would be Ralph Lauren.
Okay.
Like I'm a big fan of their styles
Yeah.
and Christian Dior for sure.
One thing I always hear about Ralph Lauren, at least for the guys anyway, you know that they have that little teddy bear. And they say that if you make your outfit look like the teddy bear outfits, that you will be like doing great in fashion because he always has like multiple layers and cool combinations and stuff like that. So that's what I always hear for guys is like, just follow the teddy bear, whatever he's wearing. If you wear it, like you'll look kind of cool.
That is true. I've seen a lot of TikToks, like people recreating the teddy bear outfits, and they always work.
Yeah, he's like a fashion icon. It's kind of funny because he's just like on the shirt or on the jacket or whatever, but his outfit is like put together, like layers and everything.
Yeah.
In New York, it's always probably really common for people to dress up, to like try new things around fashion. I don't know if that's necessarily the case here where we're at. How do you feel about like dressing up, you know, for a regular Tuesday or a Wednesday? Like, what's your approach to like just like dressing up for just a normal day?
I say clothes are meant to be worn, if that makes sense. And if you have something nice, don't wait for a special occasion. Just put it on. Like I was that girl in college who would show up, you know, in trousers. Like, and I can't count one day that I went to class in sweatpants. Like I never did. Because I'm like, if I have nice clothes, I will wear my nice clothes, even if I'm the only person that wears them. Because I'm like, what if I die? Like, what are you going to do with all those clothes? You're going to donate them or something? Like, I don't want to wait for a special occasion to look good. I mean, I'm not saying you should always look good, but if you have nice clothes, wear them.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that approach because oftentimes people wait for special occasions to dress up, right? It might be a wedding or something like that. And like that's the one time where they dress up. And I love your approach of like, why not just dress up? Just do it, right?
Yeah. And I feel like for me, it makes me feel better. Like it's not even of what people will think. I just like the way I look when I look put together, you know, like my mood is lifted. Like I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, yeah, we're going to have a good day because we're wearing that shirt. Or, you know, like, oh, I did my hair and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a good day. Like, how can I have a bad day with a good hair day, if that makes sense?
That's amazing. So what would be your fashion advice for people out there? Like what should be their approach to fashion? How can they get better at fashion?
Don't fall for micro trends. Like if you don't need to own everything that's trendy, like just make sure like it goes with your body type and it goes with your color palette. Like don't just buy something and then it's just going to be, you know, collecting dust in your wardrobe. Like that's not fair. You're spending money.
Yeah.
And it's not fair for the economy and it's not fair for the environment either.
Very true. One thing that I always hear too is that the shoes make the outfit, right? And I often see on your IG where you're highlighting just the shoes, right? So do you agree with that or what?
I definitely agree.
What do you look for in a shoe to make the outfit? Does it have to be an accent? Like let's say like if you're all monotone, the shoes should be red type of thing? Or like what's your approach to the shoes? The silhouette?
I would say they have to be comfortable.
Okay, number one.
First thing, yeah. And after that, I like to wear odd shoes, if that makes sense.
Okay, describe that.
Like I wear loafers a lot, even with dresses. Like I could be wearing, I don't know, like I could be wearing sweatpants and I'd have loafers on. They're like my go-to shoes. Like everything, I always grab loafers. So I try to get loafers in different colors because they're like my favorite kind of shoes. And I know for some people it's like the, you know, Air Jordans. Yeah. For me, it's loafers. It's like, it's always loafers. And I like when shoes have a different color that you wouldn't usually see people wear in shoes. So it's always has to do with some excitement in there and something that's not the normal thing people wear all the time.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
Paint the picture for me. A casual outfit for you It sounds like you're not a fan of sneakers, maybe, not a fan of sweatpants. Like, what's a casual outfit for you?
Um, I would say dark blue jeans,
Hmm.
crew neck shirt, necklace, and then loafers.
Okay. That sounds pretty put together. To me, I'd just be like a t-shirt, some jeans, some sneakers, right? So, yeah.
I mean, it varies from people, and
Mhm.
that's okay. And that's part of, express yourself how you feel in
Yeah.
fashion. So
What's been the feedback that you've gotten? It sounds like it's been pretty positive overall, but as far as your content creation, what's been the feedback with people that you know personally? Have they been receptive? Are they like, hey, this is amazing what you're doing? What's been the feedback?
it's been positive, but I feel like most people that follow me are my friends. But then, like, every once in a while, I'll have like random people. And sometimes they'll even reach out to me and say, hey, like, I found your YouTube and I'm from Korea or something like this
Wow.
happened. And I'm like, whoa. Because I had like one video that got like some views, and then people like found me through that. And then they would try to find my Instagram because it wasn't my bio on the video. So it's
Okay.
been positive, like the people that reach out to me. And some people will tell me, hey, you need to post more. And I'm like, I'm trying, but I have like so many
You're like,
things going
"Going to
on at a time.
school, I got music, I've got all kinds of stuff going on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
What's your favorite social media platform? Is it TikTok, IG, YouTube,
I think TikTok right now,
TikTok?
but
Okay.
not to post, just like to laugh because
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, but if it comes to posting, definitely Instagram and Visco. I know a lot of people don't talk about Visco,
Yeah.
but I use it, and Instagram as well. I love to post there
Okay.
and just like, watch people's posts
Why do you gravitate towards IG?
for pictures. Yeah.
Pictures?
And I feel like Instagram, Instagram is definitely for videos.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I want to do constant videos on Instagram. I feel like I enjoy it more just from watching other people's contents and just, laughing at whatever funny thing that's going on the week. Maybe someday I'll get there.
Yeah.
I've posted there a few times and it's been good, but I don't know if I could do this forever.
Mm.
But I do run another TikTok account, but it's language related, and I've gotten some good feedback recently. And that's
Oh,
where I feel
really?
like I'm posting more, and it's just like about languages. It's not just me trying to post about everything that I care or things that I'm passionate about.
So with that language account, are you giving lessons? Are you giving tips? Or are you just giving history of languages? What type of content?
I am making infographics,
Okay.
and for 3 languages, so Haitian, Creole, French, and English.
Wow.
And I can see, so many people are saving my posts. I mean, they're not following. I'm like, hey, I can see that.
Yeah.
So it's been fun, and I've had people reach out to me through there. Like, it's still growing, it's still very small, and they're like, hey, this is very helpful. And some of them would say, like, I am a nurse in Florida, and I have a lot of Haitian patients, and I don't know how to say those things in Creole. Your videos are helping. So I'm trying to focus on language there.
Has there been a favorite thing that has come out of your content creation? Have you gotten to go to a cool place or met a cool person? Has there been a cool story around that?
I've definitely got PR from brands, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't know if I've had anything cooler than that for now.
So brands are reaching out to you and they're like, want to give you some merch or some items for you to post on your content or what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just PR packages,
Okay.
which has been cool.
That's cool. How did you start that, or did you just created the content and they're reaching out to you, or you're reaching out to the brands?
They reached out to me actually, and it started when I was in Haiti. Like one brand reached out to me, and I was like, "Whoa!"
You're
And I
like,
was
is this legit or what?
Yeah, so I had
Yeah.
to read the email, like check the ending just to make sure it's not like at gmail.com.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all those, little things that people can do to scam you. So I looked for them, and I was like, this is legit,
Yeah.
and reached back. And then I had, my first gift, and it was pretty cool. It was some skincare stuff. And
Awesome.
still to this day, my sister used that brand just because they reached out to me, and then she found products that she liked from them, and she's been using it ever since. So
Very
yeah.
cool. So are you going to pursue that? Do you think that you're happy doing that, where brands say, hey, we're going to send you this merch and do a review, that type of thing? Like, is that something that you would like to pursue?
I would love to do that,
Yeah.
actually.
Burnout or a struggle with the content creation? I always hear that, right? Like sometimes you're like, okay, I need to make a video or I need to make a post, and you kind of just burn out and then you just stop altogether.
Yeah, I feel like this is what is happening right
Oh,
now
really?
with
Right
me.
now? Oh, no.
Because I have like so much assignments. I have like this class right now. I have so much readings to do. And of course, like I have to work. And I'm like, oh, I'm just like in between. I don't know like what to do right now. So I'm just taking a little break.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping to get back
Okay.
very soon.
Yeah, I always hear that, the burnout and the way that the algorithms work, they reward you for like consistently posting over and over again, right?
For sure.
Yeah. How do you come up with your ideas? Because the other thing that I notice is that you're really good about storytelling. So when it comes to content creation, what's your approach to telling that story?
I get inspired by other people for the most part. Like I try to consume a lot of content from other people just so like my ideas can just come like second nature.
Mhm.
Like I would watch vlogs from a specific content creator that I like, but not to recreate what they do, but to see
Yeah.
how I can recreate that in a way that fits my story, that fits my personality, and that fits my passions. So
Who are your favorite content creators? Are there any of the popular ones, or these are like more like niche or more like specific content creators that you follow?
one of them is Emily, and she's based in Sweden, and another one is, oh my gosh, Anna Maria.
Okay.
She is in Netherlands. Yeah. So those are my favorite content creators.
Got it. What do you think as far as like content creation? What's the future look like for that, right? Because I'm hearing a lot of AI stuff, a lot of like, people just creating content, but not really being in the content personally.
I think AI is great, but we can't just rely on AI for everything. Like it's good to help us assist and, just help us grow our ideas, but I don't think it should be the only thing that we use when we want to create content. Like there is like a lack of authenticity, and you can
Yeah.
tell like when someone is just, using AI altogether. So
Yeah. I see different industries that are experimenting with AI, even counseling and stuff like that, where they're trying to utilize AI. But I've also read stories where that has gone wrong because the AI is inhuman and it gives bad advice sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
And AI doesn't feel any emotion. Like AI can't connect with people the way that humans can connect with each other.
Yeah. I hear that you have a special connection with Shakira. Tell me about Shakira.
So I was like 5 years old, and then I watched her, and then I told myself I wanted to be Shakira when I grow up. I was just, obsessed with her.
Hmm.
And so I realized I could do a very good Shakira impression.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's my party trick.
Yeah. So can I put you on the spot to do it? Or
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me see. Oh my gosh. What song should I do? La-da, 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 la-da. Something like that.
That's
So
amazing. Yeah.
thank you.
I think you could definitely do that. That's really cool.
Thanks.
If I could do that, I think I would be at karaoke bars, like doing that. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Besides Shakira, if I pull up your playlist, who else am I going to find on your playlist?
Oh, my playlist is a mess.
Yeah.
It has everything. It goes from classical music to whatever pop song is trending that I like, to a lot of worship songs as well. It's all over the place. But if you had to ask me like for song titles, that would be a long story.
What about specific artists? Do you have any specific artists, maybe new artists on the rise or anything that you're a fan of?
I like Troye Sivan.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have like one of his songs that's been on repeat right now. And I just started listening more to Pat Barrett. I don't know if you know who that is. And I have like one of his songs, which is like my top song right now, which is Canvas and Clay.
Okay.
I just love that song so much. And I've been listening to Billy Joel.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Vienna has been on repeat as well. I just have a little bit of everything. I listen to a lot of 80s music.
Okay.
And I listen to music in different language as well. So I have some French artists that are there, or else song, and then I have Video Club. It's a band called Video Club in France, and
Yeah.
I've been listening to them as well. So
It's really cool. I think right now in the world, things are pretty tense. Things are difficult, right? A lot of stuff that's going on. What are your thoughts on around music and building connections through music? Because to me, music is the universal language, right? And I'm a big fan of music, and it seems like a concert or a band or something like that can always bring people together, and you forget about all the differences. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's definitely true, and that's also true in my life. A lot of the connections that I've had, like as I said, like back in college, was through music. Like some of my friends that I know I'll be friends with for the rest of my life has been through music. And there are definitely studies on music and how, it affects us.
Music is good for the soul and for like stress levels, stuff like that. I always hear that about the gym and working out, that's good if you're like struggling with mental health and stuff like that. That's a good outlet. What do you think about music being an outlet?
There is music therapy. I don't know too much about this field of psychology, but if it exists, it's because it's been proven to be helpful, and you can feel that yourself. Like you could be having a bad day, and then you play a song that would make you feel better, and you can feel the difference. Like you just stop being so tense, or some people would play binaural sounds or 8D sounds, or they have like those playlists, like long playlists for ADHD, like it helps you to focus.
Okay.
So there's definitely a connection in how like it can affect our mood and even like our neurons.
I always see the lo-fi playlists that are good, I guess, for like doing homework and studying and stuff like that. I've definitely noticed that as a trend.
Yeah, and I use some of those playlists sometime. And then there is one I found on Spotify, but this one is for classical music because like when I do a lot of my readings at night for class, and I feel like it's just too quiet. Like I need something in the background, and especially something that doesn't have any words, so it wouldn't mess with me like reading. And I found like this playlist called Classical Bangers, and I just thought it was the coolest name ever, and it has like a super fun profile picture for that playlist. And it's probably like 8 hours long, and it's just like really good classical music I would just go and listen to over and over, and it just helps me calm down and stay focused as I get stuff done.
So what qualifies as a classical banger? Is it like Mozart or something like that? Is that
Yes, and Debussy,
Okay.
Tchaikovsky.
Nice.
So
I'm gonna have
just
to check out that playlist.
Oh yeah, I can share it with you.
Okay.
It's really good. So I would just listen to those, and
Yeah.
sometimes I would fall asleep, obviously, because it's so calming. But yeah, it helps.
One of the things I noticed about your social media is also travel. So are you a big fan of traveling? And it seems like I saw that sprinkled into your social media.
I am a big fan of traveling. I wish I could travel more.
Yeah.
In the future, I will. But yeah, it's part of the plan
hmm
to travel.
What's been your favorite place that you've visited so far?
That's a great question. I would say two. I have two favorite places I've visited. One of them was in Mexico. It was in Baja California.
Okay.
And it was really nice because we stayed like on a house that was by the beach. It was like so amazing. And then we ate like street tacos, and it was like some of the best tacos I've ever had.
Yeah.
And the other place, I would say it's an island in Washington State, which is called Anacortes. It was like the most beautiful place I've ever been. And I'm like, maybe I could move there. I don't think I'd ever do it, but it was just so beautiful. The water was so blue. It just felt like so magical. Like I felt like I was not even in the US.
When you're learning all these different languages, do you also do a deep dive into the culture as well and the history around that language, or what?
Absolutely. Because if you're learning a language and you're not learning its culture, a lot of it won't make sense to you. Even like the slangs that are used, like a lot of them can't be translated. So you have to learn the context of the people and why it came to be the way it is. So it's definitely important to always learn about culture, or even, you don't have to leave the country to learn about culture. I mean, the U.S. has people from everywhere. Like, it's
True.
it's nice to just try to learn about someone else
Yeah.
that's from a different culture. So.
What's your approach to doing that? Because I feel like in the classroom, you may not get all that, right? Because you're talking about memes, you're talking about context, stuff like that.
I think in high school it may be hard, but in college there are definitely different groups, different clubs. Like I was part of the International Student Society club in my school, and one of the things that I loved about this is that I got to learn more about my peers from different countries who spoke different languages and just understand, how life is in their place. And those clubs are always open like to everyone, and they have events, and you can always befriend those people.
Yeah.
And there is the Latino club, and I also went to a lot of their events and just to get to know them better, because a lot of people just think like Mexicans are Latinos, and then the rest like they don't know, or they're like the same people that eat the same food, but there's just like so much differences like within Latin America, and you wouldn't know them if you didn't take the time to get to know them personally or ask them, yourself, and even how different the food can be, like similar but different. So it's always like important to them if you just ask questions just to try to know them better. And it's better to ask questions than to just assume that you know everything about a culture.
For sure. Are you a big fan of also learning about the food and trying different foods? Like, are you a fan of that? Like, you have like a wide taste palette or what?
100%. Yes. I love food from different places. And I try to cook different things at home that are not just Haitian food.
Okay.
And not just, Chinese food. So I'll try to cook everything that I can. Like,
how do you go about that? How do you learn like to cook different things? Is it TikTok, or what's like you just watch tutorials, or you actually read like recipes, stuff like that?
Both. I would watch recipes on YouTube. Like sometimes I would hear about a country and I'm like, I wonder what their food looks like. And I would go on YouTube to find recipes, and sometimes I would go on websites just to find other version of that recipe and make it at home. So yeah, I am not a picky eater. I'll eat almost everything, and I think it's fun to just try food from different places, because there's so much more ways that you can cook potatoes, and there are so many ways that you can cook chicken or rice, and the list goes on.
So if I put you on the spot, you can only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what's it going to be?
Oh, I'm going to be very basic.
Yeah?
And that's going to be pizza. Because you can have all different kinds of toppings.
True. I was not expecting pizza though.
Yeah.
Looking 3-5 years from now, where do you want to take your career?
I'm hoping to, by this time, finish my master's and have my license.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to do some teaching, because that's mainly why I'm continuing my education, because I want to become a professor. And
at the college level, or what level would you?
College level.
College level?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to create more. I want to make more. I want to create more contents and post out there, and definitely do some music stuff on the side. I know it sounds like a lot, but that's what I'd love to do in the future.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's almost like you have your day job, but being a content creator or just being creative in general is a great outlet, right? To me, it's like I have to scratch both sides of my brain, the left side and the right side. Like, yes, like sometimes you have to focus, but sometimes it's cool just to be creative.
Yeah, absolutely. You just give yourself a little rest, because, like, express yourself in ways that you can't express it at your day job.
Yeah, definitely.
Have a creative outlet.
Yeah. I enjoyed the conversation. Before we sign off, I want to give you the stage. Where can people find you? Plug in your social media or whatever. I don't know if it sounds like you also have some covers maybe out there too, if people want to check that out as well, right?
Sure, absolutely. You can find me on Instagram. I would say that's my main social media. And it's I'm Rouve. I'm, and then my first name, Rouve.
Okay.
And that's pretty much my handle everywhere. So if you can just type that into YouTube or TikTok, you'll find me.
Very cool. I enjoyed the conversation. I wish you continued success with everything you're doing. It's really cool how you're mixing your background, your languages, and everything, just sprinkling everything about you, being authentic online. That's really cool.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
Awesome. All right, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, the super talented Rouve on the Maverick Podcast. In dreams, we trust.